I want to talk about the future, which I think it's going to be the ultimate catalyst for humans to never go outside, which is virtual reality.
Oh, I didn't know we were going to touch on this.
Yeah, oh, of course, man.
Yeah.
I'm very passionate about it.
Yeah,
I am. Yeah, 100%. I just had a meeting, and a business got pitched to me where I don't know, I can't talk about it. It's sure. VR, and then when I immersed myself into this like very specific thing, I put it into every single aspect of entertainment that I do as a human, right? Sporting events, concerts, weddings, you name it. Like it will be, and it will get to that point. Now, as far as you becoming something, let's say an avatar of sorts, right? This is me going off on a rant. I want to know. I want to know. Tell me the most exciting thing you're seeing in VR and then AR. I think AR is super cool too.
Yeah, I'll give you kind of my high level overview and then we can see if you want to dive in anything. So a couple things. So virtual reality, I think, has a long way to go. I think I look at VR as a long-term, like 10 to 15 year investment. Mm-hmm. I've spent a majority of my professional time focused specifically on VR video. And so VR video is taking, essentially rendering a sphere video around you and being able to move around and look at that video. I think the coolest thing for virtual reality in the short term is the educational abilities that it can provide. Kayla and I sent, probably like 10 or 11 VR headsets to a school in Africa, and it blew their mind.
Kayla's his wife.
Is my wife. Yeah, sorry. Blew their mind because, just being able to take someone to Mount Everest or take them to the Colosseum in Rome and like all these different places is very enriching experience. VR video still has a long way to go, and like there's a lot more time spent on it. Now, virtual reality outside of just the video component of it, I do think long term is going to be revolutionary in the gaming industry. I don't think that means that how gaming today necessarily goes away, but I think it'll be another additive component to gaming being really meaningful. And I think the ability, truthfully, to have these out of body experiences that we would never have otherwise would have will happen with like haptic feedback suits, better tracking, the Vives are releasing.
A haptic, if you don't know, is the vibration of certain pressure points or wherever.
Yeah, so if you get shot here, you'd be like, you get a vibration and stuff like that. So people that judge VR right now on where it's at and kind of where it's going to be the next couple of years are short-sighted, in my opinion.
If they're judging it negatively, you mean?
If they're judging it negatively. And I think even if you're over investing right now, like you've got to lay groundwork, but I wouldn't. If we were playing a game of poker, I would not be going all in yet. I'd be slow playing to the river and then be going all in.
Yeah.
If you don't know poker, it's basically like I would be mindfully investing now because I think it's important to get in the space now. Yeah. But the long-term payoff is going to be in 5 to 10 years, and you kind of want to accelerate your investments over time. So, but I'm big on it, as you can see. Yeah.
Yeah. So
AR is a whole nother beast.
I think it'll be sooner than that. Like I appreciate but we don't know where technology is going to be. Like some kid in Singapore may be creating like this one chip or this one sort of combination that will make the chip be faster and everything, and then here you go.
I'm going to Singapore in November, so if you know this kid,
no, I don't know. I don't know the kid. In the Joe Rogan podcast with what's his name, Elon, they were talking about like, imagine if there was 10 Nikolai Teslas at the same time, living at the same time.
Oh man, how crazy! Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that sort of blip in human history can happen, where there's just going to be a period where there's like 1,000 like genius.
It's an anomaly though. Like obviously there wasn't 10 Teslas.
No, there wasn't. No.
Right, and there wasn't 10 Einsteins. But look, either way, I think we agree that VR is going to be big, and I would love to be wrong, and it'd be faster than what I anticipate.
What is the craziest possibility you've seen in VR that you were just like, holy shit, mind blowing?
That's an easy answer. So there's a company called The Void. Mm-hmm. So what The Void does is they have they basically put up these. They set up like this big studio, right? And they map the whole physical environment into the game, right? Yeah. So where there are physical walls, they're in the game as well.
Okay.
So if you like go up in the game and you see a window and you touch the wall, you'll feel a window, right? Because they built physical environments and they map the game around it.
Yeah.
And they have all these motion trackers, and you have basically a wireless suit on because the laptop is built into your bodysuit, and so you can walk around and like touch something on the wall. You'll like go down a hallway, make a left, and go into a room, and like all of this is mapped around this physical environment. Hector, it's like mind blowing. And if you think like that's the stuff that you go do that and you're like very inspired.
Yeah.
You should go check it out. They have one where they do Star Wars. I did one with Ghostbusters. You'll go into a room like this one that I did. I went in this room and I'm looking around and the room's really cold, right? Because I'm outside and it's like snow mountains. And so they pump like AC into the room. You walk in the room, so you're freezing, right?
Yeah.
This dragon comes up and all of a sudden a fan goes on and it starts blowing wind at you. And so you're like, your mind is tripping out because you're like, I am here right now and I'm like scared. And it was cool because they had this, they basically, you walked out this room and there was like a podium and it was like a metal grate podium.
Yeah.
And they had it, the physical environment. So you feel like you're on a metal grate.
Yeah.
Now in the real environment, the wall's like right there.
Yeah.
So if you actually jumped off that podium, you'd face plant into a wall.
Yeah.
But in the game, it's this sprawling like snow mountains and stuff. But because your body is so tricked, you're never going to be like, oh, I'm not walking off that grate.
No, of course not.
You feel the fans. And if you did, you'd jump into like the fan that's blowing at you. So it's
The Void.
Gosh, The Void. Check it out. Void.com. They have, I think they did a partnership. Don't quote me on this, but I think they did a partnership with Disney. So if you're at like one of the Disneys, I think you can actually go check it out in real time. It's mind blowing.
I stepped into the Optic corporate offices once, and they like 3 weeks ago, where they had the Optic Arena. It's like a live, it's a VR environment, with trophies and shit. And I walked into the trophy room and pretend it's a big trophy case. So this is live right now. You can go visit it. It's a trophy case, and then behind the trophy case, there's shelves, and you see pictures. And then I walked up to the pictures, being mindful of the trophy case that was there, and I moved my shoulder in to make sure that I wasn't going to knock the trophy over. And as I'm looking at the pictures, and I'm like, I thought that I bumped it. I'm like, wait a minute. And then I swung my hand through the through the trophy, and there was nothing there. But my mind was so tricked.
Because the hologram.
And was so immersed in this reality that I was being careful of my objects around me when they're just like, they don't exist. They exist in there. And it's crazy how just like in dreams, what your mind perceives as reality, perception is reality.
Yeah, they were even making a point like, we have the physical environments. Not everything's physical because once you touch one or two things, like if they put a window and it like draws you towards that window, right? So you're like, oh, I got to see that window. So I touch that window, right? But there'll be some things that are just kind of a standard wall that you're not really focusing on. And if you actually would have went up to that wall and pushed, you would have put your arm through it. But because your body's already, or your mind has been so tricked, that's like, you're not even thinking about that, right? And so they're able to kind of guide you through where they want you, when they want you to touch stuff. I mean, it's incredible.
So what you're saying is that we could essentially, as a fact, be in a simulation right fucking now.
No, I'm not getting on this. I'm not getting on the Elon train yet.
It's difficult, man. It's difficult for me to my life is so good and I'm so blessed, and I think
they simulated you well, huh?
They did, man. They looked out for a brother,
They did,
and you too, man.
They did, of course.
That's super cool. AR, obviously augmented reality, which is explain it to the
so
us.
that's basically kind of digitally imposing something in your reality, right? So for example, is like there's devices called the Magic Leap and the HoloLens, where you put on a headset, you actually see your real environment. So you would see like everything that we see, but you can basically bring in digital things. So for Magic Leap, for example, you can have a dolphin that's like swimming in the room, or you can have like soldiers fighting on the hardwood floor. And so it's bringing these kind of virtual items, or whatever you want to call them, into the real world. And it's a little bit blend. AR is really exciting. I think I actually am as equally hyped about augmented reality. How we do it on the YouTube side, probably will, where it'll be is maybe find itself in like the stories feature, which is, where you see, AR filters and so forth. But and look at Pokemon Go. People don't use the AR component of it because they just put, they actually just put the game on. But I think gaming will have an interesting element in AR too.
I mean, if you look at the, I think it was League of Legends. I don't know if it was in Tokyo or where.
The broadcast, OGN does it.
OGN, where they have the dragons fly across, like the insanity.
Dota does it at the international as well. They map
with the floor.
Mapping out the floor and stuff, and then having like when you pick your character, like the avatar shows up in real life. Dope, dude.
Insanity.
Dope. Yeah.